Hello everyone and welcome back to the Jambar News Magazine. I'm Matt Stotler. If you don't know me, you do now. Students who are unable to receive proper eye care had the chance for a free eye screening on campus. I had the chance to visit the event. Clear Eyes on Campus was held on September 17th outside of Kilcawley Center. Free eye exams and eye screenings were offered to interested students. Sophomore biology backmed major Tanya I. Pai Dungat hosted the event, which was sponsored by Sight for All United.
I planned this in order to open access to vision care to many college students who are in need. When it comes to being college age, there are many newly independent students who aren't under their parents' insurance anymore, as well as many international students who don't have insurance here in America, and even paying for that is very expensive.
Screening was conducted on-site. Results were analyzed by optometrist Dr. Kayla Tucker. Those who did not pass the initial screenings were taken for a further examination. Dungat said free glasses were also provided to students in need, as well as referrals for students with severe eye issues.
First off, we're giving free glasses to the students, so if they're able to pick out the glasses that they want, and then that prescription will be matched to those glasses, and they'll be shipped those glasses for free. And if they do have a further vision problem, like an eye disease or something to that count, they will be referred to one of our doctors for sight in order to get further vision care for that.
Another Clear Eyes on Campus will be held in the spring. Students who are interested in joining Sight for All United can reach out to Dungat or their website, sightforallunited.org. Reporting for the Jambar, I'm Matt Stotler. With the semester now in full swing, SGA is preparing events to get student involved. Executive producer Raeghan Hilton and Jambar contributor Sydney Fairbanks have more on these plans.
Some of the many initiatives that SGA is working on are Swipe Out Hunger Week and Gwyn's Go Vote. Swipe Out Hunger Week is hosted every year around Thanksgiving to not only raise awareness but also give to those who have food insecurities. One way that SGA is working to eliminate food insecurity in the YSU community is through the Penguin Pantry. SGA President Jordan Pintar explained how the Penguin Pantry and Swipe Out Hunger Week work hand in hand.
So we actually have a food pantry on campus as well as a career closet that provides for students who are struggling with these food insecurities. And during Swipe Out Hunger Week, we really find a way to support that food pantry, make sure they're stocked, make sure students are aware of the issues of food insecurities and what they can do to help.
There are different events held during Swipe Out Hunger Week. More details will be shared by SGA as we get closer to the week. SGA is also helping students prepare for the presidential election.
So we are doing tons and tons of voter registration events and voter trivia, and we're also going to have a voter panel discussion. So we're going to have important people from the community, like the courthouse. We're going to have someone from the DNC and the RNC hopefully come and talk to our Penguins about the importance of voting, getting out there. We're not here to influence how you vote. We just want you to vote.
SGA will also be passing out pins while they are tabling every Monday and Thursday in the arcade of Kilcawley Center. For more information on upcoming events, visit SGA's Instagram.
The Youngstown Public Library was the scene for YSU's Hispanic Heritage Month opening ceremony. Jambar reporter Nicolai Hanchard has more.
Like any event of importance that requires an opening ceremony, YSU's Hispanic Heritage Month is of no difference. The ceremony began with a flag parade displaying the 22 flags of the Hispanic countries being celebrated. It was attended by Youngstown Mayor Jamal Tito Brown and Ohio State Senator Al Catrona. Also in attendance were YSU President Bill Johnson, Mogg Library Co-Director Ms. Anna Torres, and Assistant Director of the Office of Belonging, Empowerment and Engagement Susan Moorer. The keynote speaker for the event was Christopher Colon, the Executive Director of Thrive Mahoning Valley. He said the theme of this year's Hispanic Heritage Month, Latinos Settling in the Valley Through the Centuries, Nuestro Destino, highlights the journey of Hispanic Americans.
Nuestro Destino, our destiny, is not just about where we end up, but how we get there. The choices we make, the struggles we endure, and the community we build along the way.
Mayor Brown spoke of the importance of ceremonies like this one in allowing him to assess his role as a mayor.
For me as mayor, this is an opportunity for me to reflect on figuring out how my leadership is working and or not, and what am I missing, as you expand your population in the United States of America? But also, what about in Youngstown? What am I doing better? What can I be doing better as the mayor of the city of Youngstown to make sure that we're inclusive to all that live here and work here? So
The mayor presented Anna Torres with a commendation on behalf of the city of Youngstown for YSU's efforts in planning the events for Hispanic Heritage Month. Senator Catrona also presented a commendation on behalf of himself and the president of the Ohio State Senate, Matt Hoffman. Reporting for the Jambar, I am Nick Carlisle. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick Carlisle. Stay tuned for more of the Jambar News Magazine after the break.
All right, so who knows why?
I know why. For starters, I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. Can you say that? Engineering, sports, music, business. I can do anything here. I'm getting my hands dirty, learning what my friends are only reading about. I'm part of something bigger here. I'm proud to bleed red and black. So yeah, I know why. It's not a question, it's the answer. Youngstown State University, know why.
The McDonough Museum is showcasing its fall exhibition. It's filled with works by YSU faculty from the past and present. Jambar reporter Molly Burke has the story.
The museum halls are lined with art.
There's sculpture, there's ceramics, there's painting, printmaking, photography.
Displaying decades of faculty creativity.
It's a huge variety of work.
The Legacy 58 Years of YSU Art exhibition is showing now through October 26th. McDonough director Claudia Berlinski says the museum does faculty shows about every 4 years.
In addition to the full-time faculty who are teaching right now, we included those who taught last year, and then we decided to invite any living retired faculty.
When Richard Mitchell began teaching art history in 1966, the McDonough Museum wasn't built yet.
When I started, this site used to have a motel on it.
Teaching at the university for 40 years, he laid the foundation for a cornerstone of the art department.
Mostly I built the photography. When I started, there were just film cameras and things like that, but we started with the very beginning of digital photography with cameras that had 2 megapixels of memory and things like that.
Now retired, Mitchell is still connecting with the YSU community. His piece, Mercado Alteration 12, is displayed in the exhibition. It's composed of photographed test strips he took in a Guatemalan marketplace.
But I was focused on this particular young lady. She's here in a couple different places, but these are test strips that I put together for a little thing that kind of express what the market is.
Students, staff, and community members gathered at the museum on September 6th for a reception to celebrate the exhibition's opening.
Some coming to admire the work.
We're always amazed at what we see, such variety and creativity.
Others coming to get inspiration.
A lot of my professors are exhibiting their work here tonight, and I came here to support them, and I also was curious as to what they made. And I also work for Dragana Cernak. I am her studio assistant, so I was really interested to see what kind of work she made.
Joy Christensen Erb is the department's acting chair. Her piece, titled Lineage, displays photographed handkerchiefs.
These are from different generations in my past, and I'm really drawn to the beauty of these.
She says art is important for the YSU community, serving a backbone for economic growth, entertainment, and connecting with others.
Art can be really healing as well to the community, so I think that that's something when people are able to express their ideas and concepts through art, that sometimes that can make a connection with an individual looking at the work itself.
You can check out the galleries Tuesdays through Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's free, but donations are encouraged. Reporting for the Jambar, I'm Molly Burke.
This week, executive producer Raeghan Hilton sat down with Dan McCormick to learn more about the status of Rookery Radio.
Thanks, Matt. I am sitting here today with Dan McCormick. Dan, can you tell me a little bit about the roles you play at YSU and also specifically in Rookery Radio?
Well, being the advisor for Rookery Radio is just one of the things I do on campus. My main job is I'm in charge of the studio that we're sitting in right now, all the photo and video equipment for the Department of Communication. Also, I help with student media. Another thing I do on campus is I also direct the broadcast for football and basketball teams for the ESPN stream. And another thing I do, I teach classes, but for this interview, I am the advisor for Rookery Radio, which is just starting back up again right now in fall.
Yeah, and can you talk to me a little bit about maybe the productions that Rookery is currently putting on?
Well, we just recently hired co-managers of the station, and they are building. They put out flyers and social media posts, trying to get people interested in shows, and they've had a lot of responses. So we'll have some sports shows. We'll have some general interview shows, newsmaker shows, and some. When there's an open invite across campus, you get some very peculiar things that are going to be kind of interesting, but like kind of a niche market. But that's kind of what college radio is all about, doing things that you can get away with, not get away with, but like that you couldn't really do on commercial radio. So it really lets people, build their skills running a radio show, and no subject within reason is really off limits.
Yeah. So currently, is it just like a music focus, like productions, until you guys get those people in there?
It's heavy on music, which is fine, and it's kind of particular to taste of the host. But there'll be also like podcast style shows, just general talk shows. But we're really hoping for a lot of variety, and not just be just one thing. And the nice thing about doing it on a college campus is that it'll change every semester, because students change every semester. So if you don't like something this semester, the chances are you'll like something next semester.
Yeah, absolutely. And moving forward, you mentioned some more niche, maybe talk shows or, podcast style segments.
Right.
Are you looking at anything specific coming up that maybe you have?
There was a student that mentioned he was going to do a podcast about trains, which is not my specialty. But the thing I know about the subject matter of trains is the people who love it really love it. So they'll probably pull listeners on that show that you wouldn't normally get from a sports show or a traditional music show. So that's really what I like about it, is it kind of casts a broad net and gets a lot of ears listening to our station, just based on the unique interests of our students.
Right. And one final question for you. Moving forward through this first semester, kind of reestablishing Rookery Radio, what are your hopes moving throughout this semester for Rookery Radio?
Well, we really hope to have a lot of programming. The way our station works, it's a streaming station. So if there's not a live show going on at that moment being broadcast, we have, once we stop broadcasting live, we have built-in playlists from our server. But I would like it if just about most hours of the waking day, of the business day at least, that we have students in there doing shows and really filling it up with original content rather than just streaming of music. It's nice that the station never goes dark, so to speak, but I would like it to really fill up and just pack our calendar with unique shows. And based on interest so far, I think we have a good chance to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
Yeah.
For more information on Rookery Radio, make sure you check out their website. But yeah, that's all we have for the interview today. Back to you, Matt.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Jambar News Magazine. I'm Matt Sautler, and as always, if you don't know me, you do now.